Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Lee from the Education University of Hong Kong. In this video, I'll show you what a corpus is and how we can use corpora to enhance grammar teaching and learning. First, let's find out what a corpus is. A corpus is a large, principled collection of naturally occurring texts stored electronically. The text can be in the written form or spoken form, produced for various purposes. They can be news articles, fiction, advertisements, recipes, conversations, interviews, blogs, and so on. A corpus analysis can reveal useful information for grammar teaching. It includes the word usage, that is, how a word is used in context, and the frequency count, that is, how frequent a word appears. The frequency information may help teachers decide what to teach and when to teach a particular grammar item. Should it be taught at the beginner level or at a more advanced level? A corpus analysis also reveals register information for learners to understand the importance of making context-dependent grammar choices. For example, learners can learn to differentiate the grammar of academic writing from the grammar of conversation through examining corpus data. Let's compare nowadays and these days. Which one is more commonly used for academic purposes? Here are 3 free corpus tools you may find useful. The corpus-based approach to linguistics and language education has gained importance over the past few decades. However, it is still being overlooked in many classrooms. Not many teachers are aware of corpus resources and their applications to language teaching. Teachers need guidance in how to use corpora, interpret the results, and apply them to the language classroom. In the following parts, I will introduce 2 approaches for teachers to integrate corpora in the teaching and learning of English grammar. They are 4 I's and 4 P's. 4 I's refer to inquiry, investigation, interaction, and induction. 4 I's can be regarded as a bottom-up approach. We can start with a student's inquiry on a particular usage question. The teacher then conducts a corpus search or guides the students to do a search to collect real data at the stage of investigation. The students then study the language data and interact with classmates to share opinions. Based on the language data, the students discover a language feature or a rule in the induction process, which may be refined and honed with more and more data discovered by the students under the guidance of teachers. Now, let's study 2 examples using the 4 I's approach. Many people use reply as a transitive verb, saying, for example, Chris replied me. Is this correct? We can begin with this inquiry. If you conduct a corpus investigation using COCA, the Corpus of Contemporary American English, you can find this on the web page. Choose Lists and enter Reply. Then, it will illustrate to you how reply is used in COCA. As reply can also be a noun, you need to make a selection for the POS, part of speech. You can choose verb all, then all verb forms of reply will be searched. This slide illustrates the use of the verb reply in COCA. Students study the examples. In step 3, interaction, the students discuss with other learners to find out the language features. In step 4, induction, the learners come to their own conclusions and discover the language rule based on the language data. They should be able to find out that reply is an intransitive verb, and it is wrong to say Chris replied me. We should say Chris replied to me instead. Through this kind of discovery learning, learners look into problems and find things out for themselves. Another inquiry is about the use of the verb appreciate. Many people say, I would appreciate if blah blah blah. Is this usage correct? You can use a corpus tool to investigate the usage. You can type in, "I would appreciate," to check what follows. Or you can type in an asterisk to represent a word between appreciate and if. Based on the concordance lines, students can share their observations and come to the conclusion that appreciate is a transitive verb, and we should say, "I would appreciate it." After looking at the 4 I's approach, which starts from the bottom, that is a learner's inquiry, we will now turn to 4 P's. We can regard the 4 P's approach as a top-down approach. It begins with a grammar point that a teacher has to teach. The teacher needs to design a unit plan to optimize teaching and learning effectiveness. The 4 P's are presentation, problem solving, practice, and production. At the stage of presentation, the teacher presents the target grammar structure in a meaningful context. To make learning more authentic, teachers should always ask themselves, in what context does the grammar point usually appear? For example, when presenting subject-verb agreement, think about where this structure is usually used, like science facts, daily routines, friendship descriptions, and so on. I've chosen friendships for illustration. Many examples demonstrating subject-verb agreement can be found in the book Just My Friend and Me. The teacher can ask students to listen to the story and draw their attention to the verbs used in the text. In the stage of problem solving, the teacher can choose a corpus and design consciousness-raising activities, which require students to study the concordance lines and work out the relationship of the subject and the verb in number. For more advanced learners, the teacher can present more complex subjects and let students discover that it is the head noun in the subject that determines the verb number. Fairly controlled activities can be designed for the stage of practice, including gap filling, proofreading, substitution drills, sentence transformation, dictogloss, and so on. For our subject-verb agreement example, I have devised a gap-filling exercise and a proofreading exercise based on the story Since We Are Friends, which is about a friend who has autism. Higher order questions can also be asked to challenge learners' cognitive thinking and to provide further opportunities for them to practice subject-verb agreements. We learn grammar for use. It is important to include the production stage, so that learners are given opportunities to use the language more freely for meaningful interaction. In our example on subject-verb agreement under the theme of friendships, learners can be asked to introduce their good friends and what they do together. After all the presentations, the class can select the most popular classmate for the Miss or Mr. Friendship Award. The inclusion of award giving can make the learning task more fun and meaningful. After language production, you may have the 5th P on post-task remedial language activities. Teachers can collect students' language data to create a learner corpus to help students correct their own errors. Lawrence Anthony's AntCon is a freeware corpus analysis toolkit, which can be used to compile your own corpus. Finally, I would like to emphasize, no matter whether you use the 4 I's approach or the 4 P's approach, it is important to note that grammar teaching is not just about form-focused instruction. We learn a language for communication, for sharing our ideas and experiences with others. Teachers should help learners understand the connections between form, meaning, and use, and become more effective communicators. My B.Ed students Yen Chai Lam and I have developed several sets of materials which integrate corpora in daily grammar teaching and learning. The aim is to help learners realize grammatical forms through discovery learning, understand their meanings, and use them for effective communication. You can find them at the website shown. I hope you will find them inspiring for your own materials development. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.